Hello. Hello. Welcome to the stream. I feel like I haven't streamed in a minute because I canceled my stream last week. But if you are here for tarot readathon sprints, welcome. Welcome to the party. What is everyone reading? What are we doing? Happy Friday night. If my eyebrows look crazy, it's because I just got my eyebrows done like an hour ago and they always look crazy for the first day. And I'm not wearing any other makeup, so it's like all you see is like eyebrows. But it's fine. I trust. I've been going to her for a while. I just poured a glass of wine and I have not to like expose myself, but I have like all this laundry to fold and laundry to do. So my project is to finish listening to my audiobook. I have like a few chapters left of Amari and the Great Game, which I'm loving. And the third book comes out in just a couple of weeks. So I'm going to finish my audiobook. I'm going to do, little chores and just start checking things off the list. I feel like it's going to be a quiet, chill night on stream because we are not the most exciting thing happening tonight. there's like the Olympics opening ceremony also happening. So if you're here and we're cozy, thank you for being here. We're just hanging out. And it's gonna be a fun time. I am officially on vacation as of like 2 hours ago. So I have oh my gosh, I have so much to do tonight. I have so much to do tomorrow. And then I'm leaving for vacation on like early Sunday morning. So my brain is just like, it's like right before you leave for a trip. I'm like, I can't forget this. I have to remember this. I have to go get this. I have to do this done. So if it feels like my brain is going a mile a minute, that is why. But hello, welcome to Sprints. Happy to have you here. Nicole is trying to finish Blackfoot Ways of Knowing tonight. Here's hoping. I'm also trying to finish at least one book tonight. Amari and the Great Game would be great to finish tonight, which is like a gimme. I really only have a couple chapters left. And then I'd also like to finish Bookshops and Bone Dust if possible. So we're finishing things this Friday. Hello. Welcome, welcome. I'm reading Exalted by Anna Dorn on the second chapter. I'm into it. Nice. Very nice. Vacation. This is my energy right now is like, yes. A little break, a little refresh. But at the same time, it's just like, oh, like I just want to be like on vacation. There's still just so much to do until I get on the plane on Sunday, But it's good. It's good. Hello, welcome. Hello from Olympic commercial break. I love it. I love that you're double dipping. Continuing A Fire Endless by Rebecca Ross. Cool, cool, cool. Where did I just see this? The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. Is this currently out or is this like on NetGalley? Because I just logged into NetGalley for the first time in like probably over a year because there's one specific book that I wanted, Fang Fiction by Kate Stayman London, who wrote One to Watch. And I requested Fang Fiction and I got it. So now I have that to read early before it comes out in October. And I'm just obsessed. But I just did a little NetGalley perusal for the first time in a long time. And I feel like I saw that book, if not something similar to that book. 25% into the 25th Legend of Dritz novel. Sounds fun. Hey, Morgan, just got here. I'm reading Scum's Villain Self-Saving System, Volume 1. That's the tongue twister, but I hope that you're liking it. We went to Half Price Books today, and I was able to read 2 volumes of Blood on the Tracks while the hubby wandered. I love it. I love it. My boyfriend also went to a bookstore today. He texted me in the middle of the day and is like, hey, do you think such and such bookstore would have books about houseplants? And I was like, yeah, probably. And so he went to this bookstore close by his work, partly as like a kind gesture and partly as like a meme, because I guess he has like one of the other people at work was like saying something about houseplants and keeping plants alive. So he just had this like, I'm just gonna get him like houseplant books for the bit and also to be nice. I don't know. It's a specific sense of humor, I guess. Of course, I'm double dipping. Can't miss Noelle and my day even for once every 2-year celebration. I love this, and I I am honored. I'm honored. Just silly old me in my overalls, which I just got today in preparation for vacation. These are vacation overalls. Actually, my library loan of The Ornithologist's Field Guide to Love. Now hold on, The Ornithologist's Field Guide to Love? Because listen, I want to do a bird watching romance reading vlog, and I didn't realize until I started looking that there were so many of them. This looks more like fantasy, but it's India Holton, who I love. So thank you for putting this on my radar. This is going on a particular list, and I hope that you love it. Spell Shop just came out, so maybe I did see it. It sounds fun. I love like little witchy books like that. I'll be reading Rhythm of War by Brandy Sandy still. My goal is to finish it by the last day of the readathon. Just 400 pages to go. Yeah, those are chunky. Like I've mentioned before, I've been meaning to get around to Mistborn one of these days, and I have been putting that off for a good 4 years now. I know that when I read it, I'm gonna be mad at myself for taking so long. I don't think that once I'm reading it, I will be intimidated by it anymore. It's just how it goes. I'm reading The Witches of Bone Hill by Ava Morgan. All these witchy books, y'all. The overalls are adorable. I also ordered cowboy boots. Look, I've never owned cowboy boots in my life. And these are my new favorite possessions that I own. And I definitely just put on my boots and my overalls and my pink sparkly cowboy hat and had myself a little fashion show moment. Just so you know. That's Friday night in my house right now. I'm gonna try and focus on Her Soul to Take. This is like scratching an itch in my brain too. I like can't quite put my finger on. I know that I've heard of this book, and I hope that you enjoy it. It's just I'm gonna have to Google it to figure out what is making me think of. I forgot some words in that message because I was listening to you and reading the chat. I trust. What brand? They're cute. I couldn't tell you. I ordered, they're probably like generic brand, great value cowboy boots. I don't know. I was like, I want a cute pair of boots. Purchase. I don't know much about cowboy boot brands, but I do like them and they're comfy. So I'm excited. I'm thinking that I'm gonna do a sprint right at the jump. I don't think we're gonna go for too long tonight. I'm thinking like a quick and dirty 2 hours, maybe 3 if we get a little chatty, because your girl has to do some vacation chores, pre-vacation chores. But also I think I'm gonna like I said, I'm gonna like fold my laundry and stuff while I finish Amari and the Great Game. So what are we thinking? Like I've been liking my 44 minutes. Oh, I just typed in Eimer and not timer. Let's see. Oh, I just lost my place. Oh, hello. Reading Barbarian's Mate. I own Ice Planet Barbarians, and I know that one of these days Christine from the Roomies Digest is just gonna bully me into actually reading it. I will get around to it. I think that I actually will like them once I get to them. Comfy is key. They aren't always, yeah, even fancy name brand boots. That's what I've heard. So I really rolled the dice and did not leave myself any room to return them and try a different pair, you know. So I just crossed my fingers and I got lucky this time. And I'm excited about it. Welcome, welcome. Barbarians for the win. Yeah, I'm gonna get to it. Hello, Foxhole Court. I tend to like hours. See, I like the hour focus, but at the same time, I also feel like read. It's a reading sprint. It's not a reading. This is a weird hang up that I have. So I think I'm gonna stick to my Goldilocks like 40-ish minutes. And we'll go from there. Whoop whoop. We will help Christine bully you. Great. I do need the peer encouragement. Slept a lot of my dad, so I shouldn't finish Kiss the Stars like I planned. I mean, if you need the rest, you need the rest. And that's okay too. Yes, read it. They are so fun. I just am like in the mood for books that are like candy like that. I just need something like super fun. 50 is also good. It's still a sprint if your book is long. I hear you. I really do. I love the little Clippies early 2000s. Thank you. I've gotten so many compliments on them today. They're like little flowers. And in the early 2000s, I had the butterfly clips. And so I wanted to get butterfly clips, but I found these instead and I just love them. I have all different little colors, and that is on girlhood. You know, I'm loving it. With the overalls, like I feel like it's a vibe. I started at the fourth barbarian, no regrets. And honestly, I feel like that's might be the way to do it because the first couple are more divisive than I think the rest of the series is, from what I have gathered. That's my favorite. Yes, exactly. I'm a sucker for the butterfly clips. I think I'm still gonna have to add some butterfly clips to the collection eventually. Now that I know I will wear them. But yeah, it's fun just like coming back to little things, little fun little things. I like the butterfly clips, but kept breaking them. Yes, I did. I did destroy many butterfly clips, or I would like sleep in them, or I would step on them. And so now I feel like okay, I can trust myself as a grown adult to try to take care of my little clippies. Can you hear me out while it has surprisingly solid sci-fi world building? I trust your sci-fi opinions. So this is interesting. This is an interesting twist, but I'm here for it. Clips always overstimulated me. You know, different strokes for different folks. There are certain things that are similar that I can't tolerate, and they will overstimulate me. For example, having hair in my face, which I didn't know was a thing for me until I cut my hair short. And now not like hair falling in my face or being on my forehead is so I can't do it. So that's why I've found the clips and I've been wearing a lot of hats and I have like headbands to prevent that. So I maybe it's the opposite, but yeah. Um I don't remember. Oh, I don't remember what this was, but I think I follow. I think I follow. Olympic distractions is very fair. Hair accessories are the best. Yes, I need one of those plastic zigzag headbands. No, because those I feel like I scraped the shit out of my skull with those plastic headbands. I could never like I never quite figured it out. And maybe one day I'll be brave enough to try again as a grown up because 8-year-old me never got it. But oh, those and then what was the other little like the other little barrettes. I'm gonna have to like search for what I'm thinking of. But there's like the clips, those little stretchy zigzag things, and there's these like other specific barrettes that I'm like thinking of. Just gonna be searching 90s hair accessories. I'm thinking we sprint at 20 after and do a nice 40 minutes. Favorite barbarian is book 3. Nice. Oh, see, there you go. I have my head shaped for the reason. I hate the way my hair feels against the tips of my ears. That's like what I'm talking about. My ears don't bother me, but I learned like less than a year ago that I actually cannot tolerate my hair in my face or on my forehead at all. I can't deal with hair in my face. I wouldn't be able to focus on anything else. I didn't know like people just are out here having bangs. Like I didn't know this was a thing. I didn't know that it would be a thing for me for sure. And then I cut my hair short and was like, oh damn, this is not gonna work for me. I like the look, but the like daily life, I can't do it. So that was an epiphany. The zigzag headbands are the devil. Take it from a geriatric millennial. Yeah, I they look cute, but I could never get it to work. Maybe it's like the shape of my head or something. The banana clip? I don't know what that is. The snap barrettes. Yes, they're like little oval shapes or like little rounded triangles that like snap. Snapping and unsnapping them. Yes, that was like my fidget toy as a kid was those little snapping barrettes. Butterfly clips are my early 2000s dream. Yes. You guys are my people. I have no issue with bangs as long as they're out of my eyes. See? It's like the most random things for different people. The snap barrettes were so fun to play with. I never actually wore them. I think I would like put them in my hair and go to school, and then that would just be like my toy to play with all day. It just hurt my head. We're in agreement. My hair is always up, out of my face, and off my neck. The sensation drives me nuts otherwise. Obviously, I am fine with it on my neck, I guess. We're really in a mullet era right now, and I am surprised how much I'm like living for the mullet era. But my partner is the same. Like his hair will get to a certain length, and I was like, I can't live like this. Like I can't have the hair on my neck. So he's like, he would feel you on that. I used to rock the banana. What was the banana clip? Hold on. 90s banana hair clip. Oh, yes. Those things look like they look like bear traps. Do you know what I'm talking about? For some reason they're like little, like I feel like cartoonish, like you're like gonna step in it and it's gonna like trap you. It's what that reminds me of. So I would call them bear trap clips, not banana clips. I used to be a bangs girl, like one eye gone, side bangs, and I think that drove me to madness. I could never have my hair on my face now. Yeah, maybe I just wasn't as sensitive to it as a kid or growing up because I definitely did used to have, like I never really had like bangs, but I would have like my hair just like in my face without like putting it behind my ears or something. And I don't know how I ever like went about my life like that. I think I still have the snap barrettes. I actually bought when I bought these little flower clips, I also got a little pack of snap barrettes, and they're like they tried to make them like look like modern and like office stylish, and I first was like, okay, yeah, maybe, but they really do not snap. They do not snap, and I need them to snap the same way, so I'm gonna have to find some authentic snap barrettes. They annoy me. I can't see. Hello, doggy. Yes, now that I'm like talking to a camera, she's been like running around. But she's been napping. Yeah. She's just a cozy girl. I have a sparkly snapper in right now. Yes. I'm gonna have to I want sparkly ones. I love that. When I had hair, I preferred the hair elastics. I'd play with them until they snapped. I used to love snapping them on my wrist. I don't have like I have like teeny tiny little rubber bands for like little tiny little ponytails. But otherwise, I got to a point where I didn't like the hair elastics because they would give me like a headache if I had my hair in a ponytail. But they do make good fidget toys too. I can't stand anything on the back of my neck. We're all just a bunch of bunch of overstimulated people. I totally forgot about topsy tail contraption. My hair broke two topsy tails. Is that what those are called? Is this the banana clips? Or is that a different thing? My side bangs are almost to the tip of my nose, and it is very overstimulating. I'm fighting the urge to drop them so bad. Get some clips. Get some clips. Because without the clips, they're like, my camera is mirrored. It's like difficult. My hair is like not quite, it like can go behind my ear, but it won't stay. And so that's where I was like, okay, if I'm growing my hair out, I gotta find some kind of other solution in the meantime. And it's worked great. It's worked great. And you can get cute flower or butterfly ones. Who cares when you can about the Olympics when we're here for the hair accessories? Yes. Weird fun fact, the snap braids are great for quilting. That is a weird fun fact. Do you use them instead of like pins as you're sewing pieces together? I've always been a little masochistic. You know, whatever does it for you, really. I would do a little trick to make the hair elastic spin around my pointer finger. We all, before fidget toys were even a thing, we all had our little systems. Topsy tail is a different thing? Okay. Y'all really have me Googling today. Topsy tail. What, hair tool? I don't even know what I'm looking at. Topsy tail hair braided ponytail maker? This looks like nothing to me. It just looks like a little loop thing. Interesting. Is a loop on a stick. That's what I'm looking at. Okay. You would stick between your head and hair tie, thread your ponytail all the way out. Huh. Never knew. Maybe I do need clips to tide me over to my next hair appointment. Yeah, it's worked great for me, let me tell you, if you don't like the hair in your face. They make me feel so fancy. Yes. You can use snap clips to pin your binding as you sew it in. Genius. I'm going to visit my friend who is like a sewer quilter. Oh hey. We're sprinting. And I will definitely be sharing that tip if she doesn't already know it, because she loves a good life hack. I miss scrunchies. I know. I don't know what I did with all my scrunchies. I feel like I chopped my hair off and I was like, welp, don't need any hair accessories anymore. And now I really don't know if I still have any. I am gonna do some searching. I'm learning things. I have a giant scrunchie collection. They're perfect for curly hair. I know. I used to have a bunch of them, and I really don't know what happened to them. I want to pet that dog. She's very fluffy today. Aren't you fluffy today? She's doing a big stretch. Oh, yes. She's excited because Wes just got home too. Which I think on that note, I know I'm 6 minutes late, but we'll do a little sprint and I'm going to start slowly getting my life together. So I think we're going to do 44 minutes and then we'll come back. How did I do this last time? Chrome tab. There we go. Okay, I'll see you back in a bit. Hello. Hello. Welcome back. How did we do? I finished my book and it was really good. I'm like a little bit in just finished my book shock, you know. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad that the third one comes out in just a couple weeks. In this series, the third Amari and the Night Brothers, because wow. What an ending. What an ending. Oh, take my banner off. Oh yeah, I did extend the sprint after I talked to Big Game about not doing hour-long sprints. So that's just how that goes. But I needed just a little bit more time. Trying to finish 2 books, a nonfiction, nonprofit, and a graphic novel series. I didn't read as much as I wanted to. My brain decided to wander off. 11 pages. I did a bunch of nothing. I mean, this is like the Friday night energy. Like, it's whatever you want to do. Watched the end of the opening ceremony and read a grand total of 3 pages. See, the double dipping is great. I got about halfway through folding my laundry. And there's plenty more to go. So I think we'll probably do some catch up and then get right back to it. And then you can get right back to the Olympics. 35 pages of Foxhole Court. Love it. Kind of a bit questionable in your book. Facepalm. No, I mean, you gotta take those. You gotta take those little moments. 40 pages? That's pretty good. I keep forgetting the new Amari book comes out soon. I know. Like, what's the actual date? Amari book 3. Amari, it's called Amari and the Despicable Wonders, and it comes out the end of August on the 27th. And I'm so glad. I need to know. I think I would have been pissed if I read this book when it came out a year ago, because that was a bit of a cliffhanger. That's a bit of a whirlwind at the end there. Oh my gosh. But very good. I think I'm leaning on a 4-star. So the 5-star drought continues. But I very, very much enjoyed it. Didn't notice it was extended. The writing is good. It's just the characters that are a bother. Man, it's always something. Read about 30 pages. I'm 100 pages into the spell shop. Very nice. Read about 25 pages and actually did my full nighttime skincare routine. And now if I fall asleep, I won't feel bad. This is like, I really relate to this. And that's such a good feeling. It's like, I did the routine that I want to be the routine. Does that make sense? It's like the feeling of accomplishment to be like, I reached the thing that I say that I want to do. Page 64. I just got the Tarot of the Divine deck in the mail today. I had to get it after seeing it in your last sprints. I love that deck. And I love Yoshi Yoshitani. I think I got the Book of Fables that they have. It's called something completely different, but it uses some of the art from the Tarot of the Divine and goes further into depth on some of the fables that the cards are inspired by. I don't think I've done so much Googling in a sprint in my life. Yoshi Tiny book. It's called Beneath the Moon. And it came out in 2020. And I got Beneath the Moon, and in the intro forward of that book is the author artist being like, yeah, you can find all of these artworks in my tarot deck. And then I was like, no shit. And then I ordered the tarot deck. But it's nice having the Book of Fables too, because the companion booklet in the little tarot deck is pretty minimalist. And my tarot reading style now is pretty minimalist anyway. Like, I don't really lean heavily on the guidebooks anymore, but it is nice having a whole whole separate book with like the same art. I've really enjoyed. But I'm glad that you vibe with the art because I love that art so much, and the colors. It's just such a specific color palette. Loving the Bretts. Thank you for my little flowers. Tarot of the Divine is beautiful and fun. Yes, agreed. I read it right when it came out, and I remember nothing, so I need to reread before book 3. Oh my gosh, I just like there's like two mysteries at once. There's like the secret mystery that she can't talk about with anyone, and then there's like the public mystery that everyone in her world is kind of affected by, and then it all just like I'm just blown away. But also the ending was like emotional and complete in the way that like yes, that's the end of the book, but like I have so many questions and there's so much to be built on. Like I didn't know this was like a series, but with this being the second book and how it like ended is like, oh, there's going to be like several books still. Like this is I think a long series, which I'm excited about because I'm happy to be here. I've very much enjoyed that time. I felt a weird time warp, but it was my imagination. Nope, I added 10 minutes in there because I realized I was just that close to finishing my book. I haven't read anything all day, but now I might pick up my book. What are you reading? I have to figure out what I'm reading next. I said that maybe I didn't say. That might be in the vlog clip I filmed before sprints, but I would like to finish Bookshops and Bone Dust, but I'm reading it physically. And I'd also really like to finish my laundry right now. So I think I need to just keep up the audiobook train. And I think that means I'm going to continue The World We Make by N.K. Jemisin, which is the second in the duology after The City We Became, which is great because this is a book that I had it pre-ordered, like a signed pre-order copy. And this book came out like probably 2 years ago, and it's just been like, you know how it goes. So I will be excited to like finally have read it and complete that series duology. So I think that's my plan. It's just a little bit dense. Like the first one is the same. Like there's just so much going on. It's very rich writing. It's like N.K. Jemisin is the kind of writer that does not hold your hand, and every sentence is purposeful. So there's like a lot of it's like very brainy. And I love it. I just need to like commit to it, you know? Oh, the Olympics made me cry. I mean, it sounds like it's a good show if it's having an emotional reaction. I've had exactly one 5-star read during the Tarot Readathon. Morgan, I have read exactly one 5-star book this entire year. So I really feel you. And I'm desperate. I'm desperate to end the drought. It's been since February since I gave a book 5 stars. And I don't feel like I'm that harsh. I just am on a rough streak right now. I've read plenty of 4s. And it's like when you go long when you go long enough without rating a book 5 stars, this is going to sound so dumb. But for me at least, when I have these stretches, it's like, do I like reading? Do I even know what a 5-star book is? Will I know when I find a great book? Am I just an asshole and I am too hard on book? Like I just go through this whole like spiral. And then I will inevitably read a book that has the 5-star feeling. And I'll be like, oh yeah, I do like reading. And I do still have the ability to give a book 5 stars. But that remains to be seen for now. Literally one book this year. And it wasn't even like a mind-blowing book. It was just it had the 5-star feeling. And that book was, of all things, that book was Wildfire by Hannah Grace. I want to reread Amari and then read the second book for the first time, maybe August. Oh yes, marathon them. They would be so fun to do a little marathon because they're just such it's just such like popcorn action packed pacing. I just love I just love the characters and it's just such a it's like a kid's book, so it's not like it's romance, but it's like I would say like slow burn friendship. Like you are watching the characters in very real time over several books, like experience ups and downs of friendship and loyalty and depending on each other and appreciating each other. Like that is just so special to me. I love how the friendships are written, especially if you like found family. It's just such a it's it it's just so well done. There's so much like time and care put into developing the depth of the friendships. Missed watching Elements and now finished watching Elements and now finished the Amulet series. Very nice. Checking things off. Maybe they're not barrettes, they're just little hair clips. Yes, they are. We had a whole 90s hair accessory conversation before the first sprint. I learned so much about other 90s hair accessories I didn't know existed. But yes, these are my little flower clips. Um, I will, I think, get little butterfly clips eventually too. I can be ready for the third book towards the end. Yes, because I'm telling you, the second book, the ending was good, but not exactly satisfying. Like emotional and the mystery is solved for this book, but like the greater story of the series, I am not I have so many questions. I will be reading that third book promptly when I get my hands on it. Oh yeah, after my proper nighttime routine, I've hit maximum coziness. Yes. Yes. I aspire to be you in a few hours from now. I read Amari when it came out. I need to catch up. Yes. The second book is so good. I mean, the first book is just like I did give the first book 5 stars. That book is immaculate. Amari and the Great Game. I really I really loved that there's like two like she just has two completely different plots going on in her life. There's like a secret plot and then there's like a more mainstream mystery plot. It's so good. It's so good. I don't even know what the third book's about other than it's just like continuing the mischief right from the first couple of books, but I'll be excited for whatever it is. Rereading the Southern Reach trilogy for the release of the new one in October. What is the Southern Reach trilogy? Oh, duh. Yes, I just read Annihilation for the first time in May, and I really am excited to continue that series. I wonder if I could get that one on audiobook. Cuz the second one is Authority. And I'm obsessed with these covers. The holographic like special covers that are coming out, I need them. I would put those up as posters in my house. That was such a particularly wacky like sci-fi time. And I've said this before, but it reminded me of like a sci-fi Piranesi experience. So if you liked Piranesi or you haven't read Piranesi but you liked Annihilation, that's my recommendation for you. Authority, Jeff Vandermeer. My library is like, we don't know what that is. I'll try and find that later because that sounds really fun right now. About 50 pages of mystery acronym, but that's a good chunk. I know you told me earlier. I just definitely don't remember. That's a good handful of pages. I'm switching books because I can't physically read and pay attention right now. Yep, I want to read and I want to physically finish the book that I am physically reading, but I have too much going on in my head. I got to be doing two things at once right now. I love N.K. Jemisin. This was the only series of hers I couldn't get into, but I'm Canadian and it's so NYC. I totally hear that. I think she said it was maybe in the acknowledgments or like a separate author's note from The City We Became, but it was something like, this is my best shot at like an earnest true love letter to New York City. And I think that's just the author being like, I'm trying to do this city justice, like the city that I love. And I love New York City, but I'm not from there. I lived there for a very, very, very brief period after college. And I think only because of that experience I got as much as I did from it. But I think if you don't have like that connection or interest or history with New York City, it's gonna be like it's just like so much information. Like it's a lot. I get it. I'm currently reading The Prospects by TKT. Almost said TK Hoffman. Hell yeah. I've been reading the fifth season. I have to take brain breaks. Oh my gosh. Yes, that book is also so brainy. I want to reread that book because I started The Obelisk Gate, the second in the series, and it's like I there it's so much. Like I think I need to just read them all in a row. So I think I'm going to reread the fifth season and then just tell myself that we're just bulldozing through the rest of the series. Like that's the only way I'm going to get through it because it's oh my god, that the fifth season is maybe one of the most genius books, if not the most genius book I've ever read. And and it is so brainy. Like you got to take those absorption breaks. I watched the opening ceremony this morning and teared up a bit. Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to catch up on my Olympics watching. My first 5-star in years. Okay. Okay. So we're on the same page then. Honestly, all in all, that was a top tier opening ceremony. Highly recommend watching it. There was a metal opera, hybrid performance, and a modern dance on the scaffolding around Notre Dame and Celine. It was beautiful. I'll forgive the lackluster can and the minions for the overall spectacle that they presented. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna have to catch up. Hot air balloon was gorgeous. Oh, I'm loving this like debrief right now. Yes. Okay. Yes. And you'll have to let me know how it goes if you do marathon the series because it's just so good. Stunning cauldron. A year, but it feels longer. This is how I feel. It's like, okay, it's been what February was 5 months ago. It feels like it's been forever since I loved a book enough to give it 5 stars. But like 5 months is really 5 months is 5 months. But it feels like it's been a long time. Yes. Yes. Did you get butterfly clips or did you get the barrettes? Share with the class. What is your tarot shuffling technique? I got this new deck. Do you reverse cards on purpose? Bridge shuffle like a deck of playing cards? Is there a way you're supposed to do it? I usually will just like overhand shuffle. Like I'll hold the deck in like one hand and I'll just shuffle a couple into my palm until it gets up till I'm back to holding it in one hand and I'll just overhand shuffle. That's just how I've always done it. There are so many different pieces of advice. It's just like a matter of experimentation. I don't really bridge shuffle. There's one deck that I will bridge shuffle because it's too big for me to do my usual method. But normally, that's all I do. I don't intentionally reverse cards. I usually don't read reversed cards, except every once in a while, I'll just get like a little intuitive nudge that a reversal is significant. And then I'll be like, yeah, okay, I'll count it this time. But usually a card will come out reversed and I'll be like, nope, flip it up. So I don't intentionally reverse them. But I have heard for people that read reversals that you can intentionally reverse cards or apparently it's a thing where then your deck can be upside down. So a trick that I learned years ago and was like, "Ooh, I got to remember that," before I realized I don't really read reversals. But the trick was like, you ask your deck, "Are you right side up?" Pull a card, and if that card is upright, the deck is right side up. And if that card is reversed, then your deck was upside down, and you just, flip the deck in your hand. But for some reason, I just like locked away. I'm like, what a great little nugget of a tip. And then I never use it because I don't read reversals. That's not a shuffling question, or a shuffling tip. But my advice is do what feels intuitive. Sometimes I will spread the deck out like a fucking magician, and I'll just like pick one, like pick a card, and I'll just pick one. But most of the time, I'll just do my little overhand shuffle and call it a day. For me, 5 stars are like lifetime faves. So I haven't had a new one since like 2021. Okay, you guys are making me feel a little bit better. That's wild. That's wild. I feel validated. Annihilation is one of my all-time fave books. I had such a good time with Annihilation. I'm pretty sure I gave it 4 stars. It was such a, I don't know what I expected, but it definitely was not anything that I would have expected, and I really enjoyed it for that reason. Amy too. Annihilation is one of my all-time favorite books. Authority is much slower, different tone, but stick with it for acceptance. I'm down to be along for the ride. If there's one thing I've learned from that style with Annihilation, like you're, as the reader, like intentionally in the dark for most of the book, along with the main character, which is why I relate that to Piranesi, because, and I think that's why a lot of people don't like Piranesi and or don't like Annihilation, because it's like, no, I'm confused and it's meandering and the main character is clueless. And it's like, to me, that's the point of those books, is like, you're supposed to be in the dark going through it with them. So because I enjoy that, I'll be along for the ride with wherever the series goes. But also, finishing Annihilation made me think, like, how is this a series? Like, where does this possibly go? Like, that could just so easily be a really juicy standalone novella. And I'm amazed that it's a 4-book series. So I'm curious for sure. But I've had 4.75s every year. The quarter star rating is next level. I did become a half-star person this year. So maybe I am a little bit more picky now. I did not used to be a half-star person. I turned into a half-star rating person in the course of my short story reading vlog, because reading 100 short stories is like, okay, I've got all of these 5 stars and all of these 4 stars and all of these 3 stars, and I was trying to like rank them in the course of that vlog, and there was just no way. It's like, if I'm trying to rank 30 3-star short stories, how do I possibly put those in order? So that project, I did half-star ratings, and then it just stuck, and now I think I'm a half-star person. Reading This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan. I gotta get on the Kennedy Ryan train. That is on my list for sure. The sequel for Annihilation is available on audio right now at the San Antonio Library, if you need to borrow my address. Maybe, because I'm gonna do one more search to make sure I didn't like misspell it. But my library might just not feed Chef Vandermeer fans. I don't know. The San Antonio Library is so good. Rivals LA Public Library. There's some libraries I am jealous that y'all have access to. Definitely. Our elected officials really invested in digital library access. We love that. We love that. I read the 5th season stoned and I didn't understand anything. That is a wild choice. How could you know, though? How could you know? But I really need 100% of my brain for that book. And I read the audiobook, and I'm pretty sure I read the audiobook on like 1 time speed. And for a lot of the book, I mean, like, as I'm just talking about, like, putting on an audiobook and folding laundry. Like, usually I'm doing something while listening to an audiobook. I think for probably half of the 5th season, I would just, like, listen and stare at the wall. Like, I need to have 100% of my focus on this book. Like, it's so genius, but it's so much. Oh no, I need to get to the rest of the Broken Earth series. I loved the 5th season, but still waiting for it to feel like sci-fi. Yes. It's like I would call it sci fantasy. That's like an N.K. Jemisin thing, I think. Is like she makes her fantasy worlds feel very sciency. Like I think it's kind of a gray area for her. The San Jose Library, which you can get as a resident with having to physically go there, has apparently unlimited editions of the omnibus. Well, what information we have here. I'm gonna have to get me a San Jose Library card. The Broken Earth trilogy is one of my all-time favorites. I have to reread it sometime. I don't know how it's possible that I have not finished the series yet, but it's gonna happen. I would like to do that before the end of this year. Last year, my goal was to catch up on N.K. Jemisin's backlist, and I miserably failed. So I at least have to still take a chunk out of it this year, or I will just cease to exist. Audiobook. I binged the Broken Earth trilogy in a row, and it was a great experience. First one was my fave. I think that's the way to do it. As someone who's only read the first one, I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. Mixture of the clips. Perfect. Best of both worlds. Bridge shuffling can damage tarot decks over time and more noticeably than other shuffling methods. Yeah, like again, it's whatever works for you. If you have a deck that you like really heavily use, I could see how that would definitely be a factor. I'll bridge shuffle when I first open the pack for a solid shuffle, and then I do that like toss into the hand thing from then on out. But I can also bridge shuffle 2 Uno sets at the same time. That is a skill. Still hungover from the Olympics. I feel you. If I rate something 5 stars, then it was really good. And I've been thinking about it all the time. Yeah. I feel validated. Because it's like I don't feel like I'm that stingy, you know? Like I definitely feel like there are people stingier than me with the 5-star ratings. Like it's weird. It's weird, but I've only read one 5-star book this year. So we're gonna eventually the drought will end, but I don't know if today is the day. Before Claustrophilia, my last 5-star was Perks of Being a Villainess. A couple years ago, you said? Reading another 30 minutes of Kiss the Stars. Nice. We'll do another sprint in just a couple minutes. And honestly, it will probably be the last sprint. I think we're just doing a quick 2 sprints and calling it a Friday night. I put my tarot decks through an automated shuffling card machine. JK, that's what I do with Uno decks. Honestly, I don't hate that idea. I really don't. I kind of love that idea. Yeah, everyone should rate how they like, but my preference is very ball curve, where I mostly get a 2.5 to 3, and 5 is unusually rare. But DNF, the other end, and the ones. I like that. I feel like for me, now that I've started doing my half-star ratings, I probably will be mostly 3.5s and 4s. Because I want to feel like I'm reading books that I think I'm going to like. So I want to lean more on the higher ratings, but at the same time, it's like I've read a lot of bad books this year. So I guess I might be closer than I think to like a normal curve. We'll see at the end of my year. I've had a lot of surprising misses this year, honestly. In my personal spreadsheet, I use tenths. Okay, but do you rate down to the 10th but on vibes, or do you have like a rubric system? It is the vibes. I'm astounded. So you just finish a book and you're like, that was a 3.9. I'm amazed. I read most things stoned, but that's a matter of my condition more than a choice. Probably wouldn't be in much condition to do anything, let alone read if not a bit stoned. Do what you gotta do. Truly. Most card games can be repurposed as Oracle decks. My favorite repurposing I've seen was Uno and Cards Against Humanity. Yes, what did I do this with recently? Oh, we have I mean, okay, I do have one of those decks if you've seen on Instagram or wherever. It's like a side quest deck. Um where you're supposed to draw a card and it gives you like an action or something to do or a task. And sometimes I'll use that as just an oracle deck, but similar but not similar. And I think the fancy word for this is called, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's called bibliomancy, where I will flip through a book, um and whatever page I land on is like the oracle message. And I have a book, like a several like books of quotes, or have one that's like a random that I find oddly profound at times, but it's like a cowboy phrases, that I'll use as like an oracle flip book. There's a book I have of poetry, and you could really do this with any book of poetry, but I have a book of poetry based on each card in the tarot. And I will definitely use that as like a book where you flip through and whatever one you land on is a poem and a tarot card. It's dope. I love that book. But yeah, I mean, anything can be like have oracle message, I think, if you put the intention there. I rate out of 10. Yeah. I think everyone kind of has their own system. Y'all got me feeling like I'm very liberal with my 5 stars. If it emotionally touched me and I've got no notes on the technical stuff, I give it 5. I have never felt so stingy until this year. It's really ridiculous that I only have read one 5 star. So I'm feeling a little bit validated that I'm not crazy for only having for like rarely having a 5 star, but usually I'm the person that regularly is giving out 5 stars. I'll finish a book and I think almost a 4. It was like a 3.8. Oh, and then I'll look at the other 3.8s on my list. And if it was a better, it'll be 3.85 or 9. Wow. I love the system. I love the system. 2019 to 2022, I rated my books, but 2023 and this year I decided not to rate anymore. I really thought about that because there's so many things that's like, why it's really not that deep, you know? And I don't, for several years, I haven't rated memoirs. I still will rate other nonfiction, but memoirs, it's like, that's literally someone's life. Like, I don't need to I don't need to be technical about how they're writing their life story. But for now, I'm still having fun rating books, but I do go back and forth on like, do I need to bother? Divination is beautifully versatile. Yes. Hard agree. Hard agree. It's all about the intention. I tried to use the compile method for a bit, but I found it averaged higher than my gut feelings overall. Just vibes. What a system. This is how I feel like my reaction is how people react when I tell them my annotation system, where it's like, yeah, it's vibes. It's weird and it's vibes. And I get that. But I don't mention my ratings in my video content. It's just your own little spreadsheet. I love that actually. I'm a little less woo woo about tarot, but I love the art and symbolism and using them as a tool for reflection journaling. Absolutely. Like I will do that all the time. I'll just be like, oh, 3 of Swords. Interesting. What is ending or what is feeling really emotionally charged right now or whatever it is. I've always found bone and tea leaf divination especially beautiful. Yes. Who There's a reader on YouTube that does I just found the other day that was doing, tea leaf readings, and I found it so moving and interesting. I loved it. Fire divination. Ooh, yes. Or like smoke, like from incense. I really like too. I've pulled 19 cards this month for personal hero's journey, and 10 out of 19 have been pentacles. Like, what is going on? Something is very in the physical right now. That's pretty heavy skew. Okay, let's do another 44 minutes. And this time I am going to read. I'm going to read. I think I am just going to go with not the city we became, the world we make, and get back into it and just be big girl and focus on it. And then we'll see where I'm at. But I do want to read it. It's just like I just know it's brainy, and that's okay. Let me reset this timer. Okay, and I think this will be the last sprint. So we'll do the sprint, we'll come back, we'll do a little chat, and then we'll sign off. Quick and easy for Friday night. Welcome back. How did we do? I I'm 20% now after that sprint into the world we make. Oh my gosh. I just like am immediately re-immersed back into it. So it just is so New York. The audiobook I'm choking on air. The audiobook is also it's like a fully produced audiobook. So there's like the sounds of the city. There's like the cars honking and like a like a police came over the radio and like there's like the sounds. It's hard to explain, but like right? Like the fully produced audiobook thing is a thing. So it's great. It's very immersive. Um I always forget to turn this little banner off. Oh, I didn't see that Laura left. Sorry, Laura. Bye. I know you're long gone, but thanks for hanging. Oh, hello. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. That was the last sprint. That was the last sprint. Why are you awake? Isn't it like so late where you are? We've just been vibing. We only did 2 sprints, and I did my laundry the entire time and listened to audiobooks. The first sprint, I finished Amari and the Great Game, and now I am reading The World We Make. Another 30 pages of the spell shop. It's very cozy and quaint. Every time you mention the spell shop, it just reminds me that I have bookshops and bone dust out by the couch. And I'm like, ooh, I think that's going to be my reward when I finish this mountain of laundry that's taken me all night. Is like, I'll just cozy up. I think I'm going to pop some popcorn and refill my wine glass and read some of that book, even though I have way too much to do, but I just need like a reward. Just need a cozy reward with a cozy book. Worked on some edits. Might be back on Bookstagram. Yeah. I love it. I don't know where this month went. Like I haven't posted. I had every intention of like being more like posting more regularly this month. And I posted like a June photo dump and was like, great, perfect way to start the month. And I all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to post like a July photo dump. Like where did the month go? It's wild. Sunday's working on her Chewy. You can't really see her. Just the floppy ears. I doom scrolled. I'll catch another in my reading sprint folder. Good night, y'all. Good night. I only read a few more pages. My concentration kept wandering off. It happens. It happens. Only nearly 1 a.m. That's dinner time. You hooligan. Dinner time? I can't compute. What are you having for dinner? 1 a.m. On page 86, if the writing wasn't so good, probably would have dropped it. I don't know if I'll continue the series after this. Man, I hate when that happens. That's a bummer. Hola. Hello. Book rewards are the best rewards. I know. And these were the 3 books that I wanted to finish before leaving on vacation was Amari, The World We Make, and Bookshops and Bone Dust. And we finished Amari. I think I could finish Bookshops and Bone Dust if I actually like sit down and have my cozy moment tonight. And we'll see how far I get in The World We Make tomorrow because I have just like 1,000 things to do running around and doing errands and stuff tomorrow. So it'll be an audiobook kind of a day. I don't know that I'll finish it because if I probably have another 5 listening hours. We'll see. I might get close. But if I get 2 out of the 3 was my goal this week, I'll be happy. An attempted July photo dump. Yes. Yes. I really enjoyed the one that I did last month, so I think I'll keep it up until it's not fun anymore. Jayla. Had Chinese takeout around 10, but then forgot about your sprints because I started watching Deadpool. It's all good, my lady. It's all good because we're going to get together quite soon. And then we won't have to even worry about sprints. It's going to be a whole thing. I'm very excited. Glad it was productive. Hee hee hee. I think that's where I'm going to call it, y'all. Thanks for hanging out. I know this was kind of a quick and fast little chill Friday night. I definitely am not going to sprint in the next 2 weeks while I'm out of town. But doing sprints for Tarot Readathon has reminded me that I really do enjoy hosting sprints, because the last time I'd done any sprints was in December for the Reindeer Readathon. So it will not be another 6 months before we sprint again. I could say that very confidently. So we'll do more sprints again soon. I also want to I really enjoyed that morning a couple weeks ago where we did little single card readings on live. So we'll have to figure out a way to bring that back too. But we'll do more sprints. We'll do more tarot. If you randomly are here and have tarot points to submit, remember to do that, because there'll be a points update tomorrow. Okay, that's where I'm at. Thank you for joining, all of you lovely people. Good night. You are so welcome. And I will see you on the internet. Love you.